Right, so that's that about myself. Some of you guys already know me. We have been discussing one on one with you guys, and a lot of things that I've shown you and you're still to see about me. So, like I said, there are four key things we're going to be focusing today. If before you becoming a professional developer, the first thing is a mindset. The second is visibility. The third thing is the strategy you're using, and the fourth, which is everyone's um key points, the income, like what you get from it. So is anyone writing? Or if no one is writing, I'll just do it like kind of retouch then kind of something like that. Yeah. So the first thing is I will not focus on your mindset for now, but I'm going to discuss on more about that later. So the first thing I'm going to talk on is visibility. Yes, so I've mentioned mindset, visibility, the strategy you're using, and the income that comes alongside with it. So the first I'm going to talk on is the visibility first. So what do you understand by visibility? In my own definition, I'd say visibility is how people see you outside. How okay, let's say who are you outside? That's what visibility is all about, or who do people see you as? So it counts a lot. Yes, it really counts a lot. Um the way people see you, the way you want to be addressed, that's the way you want people to see you. Yeah, so the way you let's say your profile or your social media platform shows the way you look, that's the way you want to be addressed. So the first thing I'll be talking on is the various goal or you need to have a good or to be seen as a good developer or whatsoever online. So the first thing is boosting your online presence as a developer. The first point under visibility is boosting your online presence as a developer. So we'll be using quite like 10 to 15 minutes to talk on this. So the goal here is to how to get an effective online footprint that attracts opportunities. How to get an effective online footprint that attracts opportunities. You might be posting actually you're posting here and there. Let's say you're posting on TikTok, YouTube, and the rest. But you need to have a particular like a content strategy that you use in posting. You need to have like a content strategy that you use in posting. So the first platform I'll be discussing on is actually LinkedIn. Majority of us have been, let's say, are using LinkedIn, but we don't know a particular strategy or a particular yes, David, you welcome. All right, so as I was saying, the first I'll be discussing is visibility, and fresh points I raised under that is boosting your online presence as a developer. So the goal here is for you to effectively create an online footprint that will actually attract opportunities to whatever you post online. So the first thing is the first platform I will be talking about here as a developer you need to look or you need to treat with caution is LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn actually you need to treat it as your CV. Yes. So how do people need to see the value you offer to them? That's what your LinkedIn is all about here. So your LinkedIn actually um, portrays who you are personally. That's it reflects the skills you have, the knowledge or the projects you're working on, and also the various things you want to or the various opportunities you want to get. You get so the way you actually structure your LinkedIn profile actually matters a lot. Yes, coming from your about profile, your let's say your profile photo, your handle, let's say your YouTube your LinkedIn banner and the rest. So it counts a lot. I see some people they'll say they are professional in this, professional in that. You see someone having like 48 skills, but whereas you go under that person's let's say that person post, you won't actually see things related to the skills that the person say he or she is having that the person is posting all about. So that's not actually necessary. The many skills are not necessary. You might be good at it, but A short clip about yourself, it is very, very important on your LinkedIn profile. So the banner needs to reflect tech. As a developer, the banner needs to reflect tech. Like I for one, if you take a look at my LinkedIn profile, um I just started learning, is it yes, I've been learning main stack for a while now. So actually I use that as a banner. So I know React, I'm using MongoDB, Node.js, Express. So based on those various skills that I have, I don't just go there and say I'm good at it. No, what I actually post on my LinkedIn profile is what I know I can do. There are some people that they can just go and watch a 30-minute clips or video about, let's say, DevOps, and they'll come and update their LinkedIn profile. Yes, I'm a professional in dev, or something like that. Or they will just go and watch a course on let's say cyber security. You see, they update their profile to I'm a professional cyber security analyst and other things like that. So actually the thing here, it's not necessary. Now it's not very important. It's not important at all. You get. So that's the first thing we're going to pin a point here. So those that are here that are actually having something of such, yes, you want to showcase a skill that you can do. If you have a client, that client will call you and say, yes, I saw this on your profile, can you help me work on this project? So something like that. Yes, and you are able to do it with perfect, or you give a good value. Because all of us, all of what we're doing now is to actually give value to people outside or our prospects. Because the more you give value, that's the more you attract people to you. You cannot just go, you say, let's say I'm a skilled software developer, let's say for example front end engineer, and I have a skill in UI UX, and I'm also a graphic designer. But that's when a graphic designing job comes to you, you start for, I don't know, you start doing something that actually makes no sense there. So the best thing or the key takeaway that I'm going to talk about the LinkedIn profile and other things of such is what you showcase on your LinkedIn profile to prove that what you do or what is on your about profile or what is on your banner, it is what you can do. So as a developer, you need to treat your LinkedIn profile as a professional CV. Let's take for example you're going to get a job. How does your CV need to look like? All those type of things you need to take it into consideration when you actually working on a LinkedIn profile. So the next thing, the next platform we're talking on is your GitHub. So most of you might think that the GitHub don't count. It counts a lot. Yes. Like if you don't yet have a portfolio, the first thing you need to showcase to a prospect or to your client is actually your GitHub profile. Yes, your GitHub profile actually counts a lot. The how consistent you are, that's where they're going to see how consistent you have been in the journey that you said you are. Let's take for example you have a 4 month professional experience in let's say full stack development. So how consistent have you been working on projects? Because when they say 4 months of professional experience, it simply means that you have been working on projects, and those projects, that's what obviously if you have let's say you've been in professional, you have a professional experience in front end development. So there are a series of things that you need to actually recall or you need to have there. You get. So those are the type of things that your GitHub repository or your clients need to see on your GitHub repository, how consistent you are. And the GitHub repository that you always see when you post, let's say within this period of time, of course it highlights there, shows that this month this is how many repositories this person has built or something of such. Yes. So that's just how it's supposed to be. And there are things that when you work on a great project, you need to pin it. Yes, like I for one, the first project I worked on, that is a professional project, I pin it on my Git repository, on my GitHub repository. You get. And then the best thing about GitHub, you need to comment on your code whatsoever, even it's a public or a private repository, for to ease your actually your let's say if you want to come and do a retouch on that project, you need to comment on the code. Yes, and always add a detailed readme document. It is very, very important. When I usually have teaching sessions with you guys or with some people here, I usually emphasize on a readme document. It's not that let's say it's actually of great importance to add a readme document in whatsoever project you're building. Yes, adding a readme document does not only ease you or ease a person that's going through that project, it also gives, let's say, if you want to collaborate with one, let's say another person, you have, let's say, a good, the person that you're collaboratively working with, the person will have a clear understanding on the project he or she is collaboratively working with you. So those are just the 4 points under GitHub that you need to treat with caution. Yes, the first thing you need to actually show your consistency, like pushing codes and doing something like that back to back. Not just irrelevant projects, right? Let's say if you work on a project, you don't wait for someone to actually tell you that blah blah blah. No. But what I usually do for I myself, what I do is the first thing if I want to work on a project, the first thing I create a Git repository. Yes, I create a new Git repository. Any project I want to work on, and also wherever I end in a project, I always comment on my Git repository. If I have already pushed my code there, if I've merged everything, I always comment under, like, this is where I've ended for today, blah blah blah. So that when I come there, it will give me a clear overview of what I am doing, like what I am to do or what I've been doing, so that when I come back to work, it won't stress me again. So these are the experience that I've gotten. So I'm sharing with you guys today to actually have some clue understanding that if you actually do this, it's going to help you. And it has been helping me a lot. Like of recent, a project I've been working on that called Postplanet is an application actually. So based on my README document, I explained everything about it. And each step when I'm done, I actually do like something like a comment beside that this is the point I am, that this is where I am in the project and something of such. So alright, so that's that about GitHub and how to structure your Git profile and every other stuff. So I think I'll give you guys like a video in creating a good Git with me document about page concerning you, because I'm sure some of you that have my Git profile here, I'm just going to share it with you guys. Some of you that have it at the end of the meeting, so not now. So some of you that have it, or some of you that are going to see it, you see how structured um my readme document is all about. So you look at it, it shows what language I've been working on and other things of such. Yeah, so that's that concerning the GitHub and the rest. So some of you might be saying Twitter X is not important. No, this is one of the most important applications on my phone. X, yeah, that was previously called Twitter. Yeah, this is one of the most important applications on my phone. X. So it's not just for me to join spaces or that thing, but when I join those spaces, right, I get a lot from it. I get like literally a lot from those spaces that I'm joining. Like just of recent, I joined a dev space online, and actually that was when I heard about because I was just let's say about this thing concern voila an MVP. It's been a while. Yeah, that was about 4 months back. That's when I heard about MVP. Whereas I've watched it on a video on TikTok, whereas let's say someone went to pitch his or her project, he or she got embarrassed because of something of such, something little like that. So that was where I heard about MVP, and I did my own research from the space. So it helps you join spaces, development spaces or developer spaces and other things like that. You follow dev influencers and you share learnings ideas via short threads. Let's say if you want to post on your Twitter and other stuff like that, or on your X page, what you do is it's just a short clip. You just put a short clip of what you've been doing. Like let's say for today, you're working on this project. You just come, you give a simple narrative of what you've been doing, something like that. Alright, the next thing I'll be talking on is your personal site or a blog. Yes, so well, so the project we're currently working on actually is going to contain this personal site, you building your personal site or a blog. So we have discussed about that. So the projects you guys are currently working on, so you have a series of projects there that is going to help you at the end. You get to build your personal site, so you can host your, that's a free hosting. You can host your personal or your blog page, your personal site on GitHub pages or Netlify. So at the end of the project, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Yes, and if you obviously if you're creating a blog, you need to be like doing an update on, let's say, the projects you're working on, the previous and the current project, something of such. And you can also, there are also things like dev.co. Yeah, dev.co. It's a platform, a web app that you can also blog on. We have Hashnote. It's also a platform that you can blog on too. So these are the various things I need to treat with caution when it comes to visibility online. Like I said, visibility counts a lot. Yes, it counts literally a lot. So the dev world isn't just about code anymore. It's simply about visibility. How people see you online matters a lot. So you are not just a developer, you are building yourself as a brand. So speak of yourself the way you want people to see you. Yes, I cannot say I'm this whereas I'm doing something else. So how people see you online, they need to see you as a brand. You're branding yourself, you're selling the skill you have. So that is how you need to make yourself visible. So so far, any question? This is just the first phase. But whilst I will be discussing about visibility, like I said, we'll take maximum should be 15 minutes and we'll use more than 16. So any question? If none, you can just react. Is there any question? Okay, there is no question. Everyone said there is no question. Any other person? Alright, Precious on Dowie. Yes, you have a question. Okay. Alright, let me do something here. If you have a question, react with a down hand. If you don't have a question, react with, or if you have a question, react with an up hand. If you don't have a question, react with a down hand. Something of such. So let's say if you have a question, you react with this. If you don't have a question, you react with this. Okay. So far there's no question. All right. So that's that for the first part. That's visibility I've talked on. Like I said, becoming a professional developer, we're just going to do a breakdown of it now, and we have talked on visibility. The next thing we're going to be discussing on is actually your mindset. And talking about your mindset, we'll just go through some various things that you need to first of all conquer before you have the right mindset in becoming a professional developer or a profession or becoming pro at whatsoever you want to be in life. So the first thing is conquering fear. Me, I define fear as false evidence that appears real. First, false evidence appearing real. That's fear. So I'll just share short narrative of what this is all about, and then we'll open some floor for questions, for questioning, and also things like that. All right. So fear simply stands for false evidence that appear to be real. Um, the first thing that actually comes alongside fear is the first one. I usually say you usually downgrade yourself. You usually say I'm not good. um you usually compare yourself with people that others are better. I can't share my codes and something of such. Others, I'm not good at what I'm doing. Others are better than me. I can't share my code with you guys. They are going to laugh at me. But this life actually, most of us, some of us, or actually, yeah, some of us take it to be as it let's say a competitive something with let's say another people, but that's not life. Life is such a way that if you compete with other people, you're going to see that what you're doing makes no sense, and it's going to derail you from the right path you're to take. So the first thing you need to first of all kill is a spirit of you just need to kill the fact that you always, because there are some people, I myself have always been that part. There was this time I usually say what I'm doing actually makes no sense. What I'm doing makes no sense. So why should I actually share my code with people that are doing more better than I am, or why should I actually share my knowledge with people that are more better than me? They are going to laugh at me, something of such. And obviously, when you start thinking of yourself as that, there is no way you're going to get like, even if you get a good job, but obviously you feeling yourself like you not being good, you're not going to do give your best in what you or let's say the job market that you've been put in, something of that. Yes. So you usually say others are better. The first you need to first of all do is you need to first of all keep that side that others are better. No, you know that you're not better, but where you are good the way you see yourself. So the first thing about yourself, you need to actually hype yourself more than the way others hype you. Yes, that's the way you need to kill fear. So you need to start saying, I'm good, whatever I'm doing makes sense, whatever I'm to do or I'm learning makes sense. Yes. And the phase that all of this is driving to is actually making money. Yes. That's the phase that all of these discussions is driving to, or all of this work we are putting on is driving to. All of these things we are putting in, or the work we are putting in is driving to, is actually making money. So the best way to conquer fear, like I said, you need to start saying to yourself, I'm good at what I'm doing, and others are not better than I am, and I will always share my code with them. It's not like for them to laugh me, but if I share with them, if they have, let's say, because I usually, if they have, let's say, an additional knowledge, they are going to share with me. There are some people that are very stingy, yeah, but others are not that stingy. Yes, others are not that stingy. You might share your code with them, then now they have like a clear clue or a clear narrative of the problem you're facing, and then they tend to help you, and which is going to help your growth in the in the developers field or in the development field, something of such. So my first interview actually that I had, it was online, and I was kind of frozen. Yes, I was kind of frozen. I never. Let's say for example, they ask you what is your name, you start shivering. As in, just what is your name? What are you doing? You started shivering like, what's going on? So, but I realized that no one is born a pro. Yes, nobody is born a pro. You only be an expert in whatsoever you're doing based on where you start and based on the mindset you're having. Yes, your mindset actually counts a lot. Every expert was obviously once a beginner. There are things like that you need to take into consideration. So where those people are now, or where those, let's say you might have a role model in life. I myself, I have my own, but I'm not going to share with you guys. I have my own role model. You have your own. So those people you're looking up to, yes, those persons you are looking up to, obviously they were once beginner. They were not just born let's say becoming an expert in their field or in what they are doing today. If you're hearing about Facebook the way it is today, you need to know that it has undergone a lot of process. So life is a process. That's what you need to take into consideration. Life is a process. Yes. So as a beginner developer, there are sometimes you're going to write shitty codes or codes that are mess. You're going to see it like you laugh. There are sometimes that even I myself, I tend to actually say something to my mentees so that they will actually get angry. Then afterwards, I tell them that that's not actually the end. That's not the end. So it was when I first of all started Coders Hub. Actually, I will just share a little bit of a reference here so that you guys are not going to when I first of all started Kuda up, I was very scared in like public speaking. I was one of the most pro. I look at myself, then I compared myself with other persons. I look my show. It looks like I was one of the most. I had no idea about public speaking. I was one of the most pro. I don't know even know how to stand before people and talk. So there are sometimes that I went online. I actually say to myself that all this stuff, there are things that is a process, obviously. So I need to learn and to become uh, what I want to be. So when I first ever started Coders Up, it was like kind of a dream. But you reach a certain point in, even though it's somewhere now that I'm actually proud of saying it has actually evolved in where it was to where it is now. So it started all as Skill for Alliance. Yes, I was just doing one or two. Back then, I usually say I'm going to offer over 200, over 300 different services to people. And so far, over the past few years now, I've learned a lot. That is, I've been sharing with people, even though the majority of the times are free. But those connections that you're building with persons is going to help your growth, even not now, but later on in the future, it's going to help you a lot. So you need to take into considerations the stats. Yes, your stats actually matters a lot. It counts. Whatsoever you're doing now tells actually proofs of what you're going to be in the future. There are some people that I don't, let's say for example they get into, let's say, this online space. The first thing about, let them, when they get a skill, the first thing about them, what I usually say is, if you, let's say the first thing about the people, right, the, just get into the online space. If they have a skill, the first thing they start selling the skill. But if they want to sell the skill, they start selling it wrongly in such a way that, let's say for example, the first let's say bootcamp, or let's say a teaching webinar they want to organize, they start placing money on it, something of such. But when I realized that marketing actually entails you building trust with the people you want to sell your produce to them, that's when I started migrating to such things. Yeah. You see me today, let's say there are things that I know today. It's not because I learned it, but it's due to the process when I was teaching. That was when I realized that this is what I'm supposed to do. So it actually helps a lot. Yes, it actually helps a lot. Coda software is something that I discussed because I had individuals from the, let's say one of the designer I was working with. It's not a Cameroonian, he's from India actually. So I worked with that guy for quite a while. We discussed, yes, even we're still discussing now, but he actually volunteered to teach designing to the person that were there for free. And I was like, wow, if I am can match with such persons that want to give out their knowledge for free, why wouldn't I agree to give out my own knowledge for free too? So those are the certain things I need to take into consideration when you want to start anything in life, either a personal brand, either a business, whatsoever. The first thing, you need to build trust with your audience. You cannot just go in. So people don't buy things, they don't buy things, but they buy out of emotion. Yes, they might see that this is what this person has been doing for me in the long run, then they decide now to patronize you, something of such. So I'm just going to discuss with you some mental hacks that I've been using that have helped me. So the first thing I've already talked on is teach others to learn faster. The other thing is join communities, and not just joining communities, but when you join communities, you partake in whatsoever they are doing there. Yes. So you partake in whatsoever they are doing there. You join communities and also you partake in whatsoever they are doing there. Never say you don't know a lot. What the little you know might help some, they say might help another person change his or her life. Yes, because I myself, I can say I've taught over 1,000 persons. Or when I started digital marketing, all of this skill I learned it out of being a digital marketer or an affiliate marketer online. So there are certain things that when I realized during the process of learning or being a digital marketer, uh, the first thing I learned was when I teach others, I learn faster. Yes, when I join communities, I always make myself available in whatsoever discussions they are having there. So the last thing I'm going to conclude on now is even professional developers still have the fear. Yes. So there are sometimes they just act. Yes, they act. Not that they are too much in what they are doing. No, no one is perfect. They're actually afraid. Yes, there are times they are scared. Actually, if you watch these top Nollywood actors or Bollywood actors, if you see some of their videos, you see some person, let's say, fighting in some, let's say, in some scenes when they're acting. So you need to get that no one is perfect in what they're doing. No one. Yes. So those are the type of things that you need to first of all cultivate. The growth mindset. Yes, the growth mindset. It's actually one of the things that even if you're the best in what you do, right, you still that's even if you're a pro in what you're doing, there are times that you're still going to be scared. Yes, even if you know what you're doing very well, like you know what you're doing, but there are times that you're going to be scared. Okay, so that's what the mindset actually entails, what I've just discussed. And now I will now explain what it takes to become or to have a mindset of a professional developer or to be pro in whatever you're doing. The first of all, the mindset that you need to have should be pro in what you're doing. So any question? Let's do same. If you have a question, use what? Okay. God love you wise. All right. Any other question? Or if you have a question, you can just raise your hand and ask. All right. No question. So hope everything is well understood. Ça va. Okay. So if that's it, then I think okay. I think we're just going to talk about a little bit about the mindset. Then we'll do a retouch on the next before I'll show you guys some things that you need to apply now to your daily life in order to become or to cultivate the mindset of a professional developer. All right, so the mindset actually of a professional developer or the goal of a professional developer is actually it's just you changing your thinking, you changing your mindset. If you removing the mindset of fear and you having the mindset of actually, let's say, practicing always. Whatsoever you have, you just need to put it in practice. You're going to be perfect at that. Yes, I'm not going to go in depth into it, but what I just want to say about this is whatsoever you've learned, you just need to shift that mindset of fear. Whatsoever, because there's some things that appear, they are actually, let's say, they're actually false, but they appear to be real. You might think that you know something, but if they put you in a professional, let's say, in competition with someone, that's where you're going to think less of yourself. Yes. So those are the things that actually they are actually false, but they appear to be real to you. Normally, when you're coding on your own, oh, you think you're good, but when you get to see other people's project, you think you're one such of a mess. So those are the type of things that you need to cultivate. Yeah. So the first mindset, we have two types of mindset here. So the first one I'll be talking on is a growth mindset. The next one is a fixed mindset. So we'll not go in depth to it because if I want to talk on the growth mindset, it will take us a day here. So the growth mindset is just you saying, I can learn anything with time. Yes. So you just need time to learn whatever thing you want to learn. So it's just a matter of time. I'm going to be wherever I want to be. So that's a good mindset. You cultivate that mindset of be always being positive. You're never negative to yourself. You always say, yes, this is who I am. I can be best in what I do, something of such. And then a fixed mindset is you saying, I will never be good at this. I will never be good at this. How many of us have ever used that thing here? Let's say you've learned something, then you just wake up one morning and say, I will never be good at this. If you just use that word, please just indicate or use a voice to say something. Yeah. So there are points like that in life that we just, I myself, there is this one time when I just started JavaScript, I almost gave up because I won't actually watch a video, someone doing something. Then now coming to practice it on my own, I cannot do it. It's like film. Yes, it's like you just have that fixed mindset. You never grow. So that's what you need to. Those are the two types of mindsets: the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. But A professional developer, or let's say an aspiring developer, your mindset now is between the fixed mindset and the good mindset. You have not yet have the cultivated that good mindset. It's when you are at that level, that pro level, that you can see you cultivated a good mindset. But when you start, let's say, climbing, because it's just like a step, when you start climbing at a certain point, you reach that point where you become a pro. Yes, you have that mindset of growth. Whatever you want to learn, you know that you can learn it if you are passionate about learning it. So that's that for the various types of mindset. Okay, so that's for, let's say, an aspiring developer. So when you want, let's say you're a professional now, when you're already in the field, when you have cultivated that good mindset, the first thing now you need to take into consideration, you need to embrace feedback, because people will shoot you with the they will tell you there's sometimes you're going to think that what you're doing is all mess. Yes, there are times when you're going to feel that what you're doing is mess. People, they'll abuse you in life. People always talk ill of you. You never see someone, let's say, saying this guy is good, actually good at what he does. Never. Even if someone says that I'm good at what I do, what I look is the bad side of that too. What if that person now change that to you? You are very bad. Because I love human being. They don't say everything. They don't say everything actually. You just hear them grumbling around. You just hear someone saying blah blah blah. This is for this person and me discussing about you. So that's just what you need to think of human beings. Even if they say the good part, you just need to look at them as people that are just camouflaging. Yes, are just saying what they want to say because they want to say it. Because let me tell you something. No one here in this life, even me myself, I might be teaching you something, but as far as me and you we are in the same phase or in the same space, developers, I already consider you as not an enemy. Oh, no, not an enemy, but I consider you as a competitor. That's what you need to know. Yes. So whosoever, even if as far as you are in this tech space with me, I already see you as a competitor. Yes. Obviously, you need a job. I need a job. I need money, you need money. So those are the type of things. You need to meet deadlines. Yeah. So there are type of things that if you want to, let's say, based on consistency, you need to work on that. So when you're building any project, you need to put a deadline for that project. That's one thing that keeps us. You might be working on a project, but now you don't have a deadline. You just be working on one and the same project all your life. Makes no sense. So when you put a deadline, actually enables you to work very, very fast. Yes. And you need to document your work. Whatsoever you're working, you need to put it down. There are sometimes you're going to need it. Yeah, and also you help others. I'm not going to talk more on that. So, tools you can use for productivity. I'm just going to give a list of some here. The first one is Trello. I don't know if some of you have heard of it. Trello, Trello. Notion too, it's also a productivity tools. I haven't gone in that deep into Notion and Trello, but they're just used to actually boost. Let's say if you want to, let's say you want to track your progress in a particular project, right? Yeah, you can use them in doing that. And also you use agile method to actually track your the way you're working on a particular project. Yeah, that's the various issues you come across, the sprints and other stuff like that. So they also have their learning habits. Yeah, the professional also have his own learning habit. If someone is a pro in whatsoever they're doing, the first thing they have is what they do in a day. Yes, because you cannot tell me that you want to be a pro developer, then you sleep 13 hours in a day. You code 30 minutes. What's that? Now, as a beginner, it's good though. That 30 minutes per day, if you can consistently continue that, is good as a beginner. But if you start, let's say you start coding for 30 minutes, the next day you code for 5, the other day you code for 3, I don't know, you start instead going down. Nah, it's kind of discouraging. So the first thing I usually do is you put your time range. You might not start at a very high level for now, but let's just say if you put yourself to start coding each day, or to start doing things that will make you grow in whatsoever field you are doing, you start doing that thing for 30 minutes per day, or let's say 20 minutes first. Then within a month, you will going to see yourself. You won't actually know that that's what you, or that's who you are. Yes, because there are sometimes that if you, let's say for now you start coding for 20, let's talk about, let me focus on developers here. So let's say you're coding for an hour per day. In a week, let's say 1 hour per day, in a week that should be 7 hours. Yeah. So let's just say the maximum days that we can use in coding is 28. Yeah, so let's just say 28 plus hours in a day. You code even on Sunday, so you don't have a day. So let's just say you code 28 hours in a month. Yeah. If you consistently focus on that, you're going to see your growth and you will be shocked. Yeah. So you must not start with 1 hour. You can start with 30 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on how you fit, you can do it. Yeah. So consistency, no one don't need to motivate you. Yep. You just need to show up whatsoever in whatsoever project you want to build. You don't need to be motivated by anybody. Yes. So your mindset actually makes a junior developer grow faster than someone with skills but no drive. So you having the right mindset actually counts a lot. So I'll discuss on the kind of, not the last one, because I've talked on mindset. Or the first one I was talking on is the mindset. I've talked on the, no, the first one was visibility. The second was a mindset. Yes, I've talked a little bit about strategy, but we are going to talk about that when we are done talking about income here. So the first we're going to discuss on is income. Yeah. So the strategy now, I'll just do a let's say wrap up of the strategy. Then we'll see how we can get into the income part of it. So strategy now depends on you. Yes, it depends. Like I said about that part, that you can use 30 minutes, you can use an hour, you can use 20 minutes. The strategy now depends on you. Depends on how long you want to start doing what you think it's good in a day. Yes. So you might think that using 3 hours is good, using 4 hours is good, using 5 hours is good in a week. Depends on you. So it actually counts a lot. Yeah, so the strategy now depends on you. That's that. So the first thing now, we will be talking on the money part of it. Earning as a front-end developer. A practical income strategy that you can use to actually boost your income as a developer. Alright, so the goal here is to show how, is just to let you know how you can monetize your front-end developer development skills in real and scalable ways. Yes. So I think majority of you already know about Upwork and Fiverr for freelancing and other stuff like that. But I won't go into the real thing about it. We also have niche gigs. Yeah, niche gigs we have from a React landing page that you can just build for yourself, showcasing what each project that you're working on, kind of a freelancing thing. Yes. Also use project sample and you write original proposals. Like that, there are a lot of work online, but the thing that kills us, especially Cameroonians, is the right way to get there. Yes, it's the right way to get there. If you have the right way to get to that point, if you have the right way to get to that very point, you're going to understand that, let's say, if you have the right way to get that particular job you want, you're going to understand, or to get to that point where you can see the work, you're going to understand that there are a lot of work you can get online. There are a lot of work. So basically, I'm going to be working on a platform that's going to enhance all of this, combine it together. But it's going to be more of you freelancing, showing up your skills, and getting in touch with professional clients and other things like that. So basically, we're going to work on the site with my developers team. So the platform is going to be called Skilldora. It's going to be specifically like we have stay called seller and the rest Amazon. For that, Amazon is actually big, yeah. Stay called and seller, let me focus on those two. They're actually Nigerian's platform, basically for skill development, freelancing, digital marketing, and other stuff like that. So your portfolio actually counts a lot. Yes, in your portfolio you list the various type of services you offer, and you need to understand how to write cold emails to businesses or to clients. And I think I'm going to organize a special bootcamp for this. Yeah, how to write cold emails, talking about the growth mindset, and going into business real depth, all of this type of thing. Like, let's just take for example, we want to get in touch with someone. You cannot just go like, "Good evening, sir. I'm called blah blah blah," something of such. The first thing is the way you discuss to that person. That person actually sees how credit or the credibility in you, how value you are, how you value yourself, and how good you are in what you're doing. So let's just take for example, I want to get to a client. What if I say hello, or like, "Hi, I noticed your site isn't mobile friendly." That's how you get to individuals. Like, I for one, of course, take like four different sites, and just of recent, yes, I got a work currently because of that. Yeah, I check a site and now get to their contact page. I check a site now. I try to see whatsoever site you build or you come across online. Try to check the responsiveness of that site. It's one of the things that most of us we don't know. Let me not shout here. So, but whatsoever site you come across, right? You check the responsiveness of it. If it's good, then if it's not good, you can go ahead. There is always a contact or an email or something down there to help you get in touch with the person or the owner of the site, something of such. Yeah. So you can get in touch with the person. Like, let's say, for example, if the site is not friendly or mobile friendly, or you can even use it on a mobile device or your phone. Let's just say, hi, I will just get in touch with that person. Say, hi, I notice your site isn't mobile friendly. They can continue. So I blah blah blah. Or if the person actually sees that, and then you explain what mobile friendly is all about, the person actually might get in touch with you, something of such. Then you guys might fall into a conversation. From there, now you find the first thing you need to start taking into consideration is for you to build trust first. How can I get this person to actually trust me that I will do the perfect job he or she wants for his or her business? Yes, you get. So those are the type of things you need to first of all start tackling when you get in touch one on one with the person. So you need to start having that sales mindset and all that stuff. So there are a lot of things I've mentioned. I've just been saying a lot of things here that you're not going to see let's say if you focus on it, you're going to see the value. But if you don't focus on it, you're not going to see the value. So the first one I've talked on is freelancing. I've mentioned the various type of platforms, portfolio and outreach. That was the second point. And after I'm going to talk on SaaS and micro products. So you can build a I know you guys are still, let's say, aspiring to become pros. You're still aspiring to become professional in this field. So you can build actually a UI kit or a web template that enables user to get there. Because that's the next project I think I'll be working on. What if I build a React UI kit, that because nowadays, right, you won't get UI, or let's say front end development, is not the main thing now. Yeah, you can build a good UI with AIs. Yeah. So what if you create a platform that people can just go there, they get good UIs, other things like that. So this is another idea. You might see it in a better view than the way I'm saying it. Yes, they try to implement it, something of such. So that's what the SaaS and micro product is all about. So from there now you can start selling the product on your, that's on the, let's say for example, first of all put it free, the number of persons that can use, let's say for example you can use this number of templates for React UIs or Vue UIs or HTML UIs and other things like that already built. Yes, so that most of people, I for one, I don't start coding from scratch, never. I will not go now, I will never go somewhere then I say I will start coding like anything from scratch. No, if I want to work on a big project, I don't code from scratch. Nah, I don't. If I have someone I can get it, then just that's going to enhance my work and cause me to go more fast in that project, I'll use it. It's not killing me. I already have the background knowledge of that thing. I will be able to back it out. But that thing is just to enhance you, to assist you. That's why artificial intelligence are there to do. They're there to help you. It's not a bad thing using it. Yes, but when you use it without control, that's when it becomes bad. Like most of the time, you're just into it. No, there are sometimes that you need to try yourself. Yes, take time, try yourself out. Like, what can I really do? Something of such. What can I really do that will actually make me generate income, like with my normal knowledge? If I meet with someone one on one without AI, will I be able to back out my skills? So those are the certain things that you need to take into consideration, something of such. So you need to picture things in real world. That if there is no AI, what can you do with the skills you're having? You get. So that's that. So the first one is affiliate marketing. So this one is very more very very detailed. It's something that carries a lot. Yes, carries a lot. And during this bootcamp, I'm sure I'm going to explain. We're going to talk on this and whatever I've said that we're going to work on. We're going to work on this one in particular: how to become an affiliate marketer on Amazon, creating a paper account and trying to link that paper account to your mobile money account. Yeah, something of such. Also, how to become an affiliate on various platforms, not just Amazon. But we have Alibaba, we have Stakehold Seller and the rest. So all of these things should be taught. Yes, let's just have let's just wait as time goes on. All of these things I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, affiliate marketing. I'll just do a little bit of research on it. It's just you promoting either a product or a service, then you gain commissions when you sell something. Yeah. So this is one of the best, even though it's kind of stress at the start. Most of people they say it's stressful. Yes, anything, nothing is easy in this world. Yeah, you have even seen nothing is easy. Even in you getting started with front end development, you see that it's very hard to. It's very very difficult. So it depends how committed you are in whatever you are doing. That's just it. Also have teaching and content creation. People to make money just uploading courses and others watching and paying them. Yeah. So try to breach into a lot of things like this too. So this discussion today was just to equip you guys with the right mindset to become a pro developer. So it's not like to go in depth to affiliate marketing and other things like that. So we have maximum 30 more minutes to get done with this. Okay, so we'll talk on updates and collaboration. How you always update a project. If you work on a project, it's good you always update that project you're working on. Yes, you don't just work on a project. Like that's why applications have different versions. You see, this application is have version 2.0. You want to see in the next few weeks version 3.0 and the rest. So that's that. You just need to always update your project. Yes, if you're working on project, it's good to update it. You get. So and also collaboration is one of the key things that you guys need to work on. Working on collaborations, like how to use GitHub, it is very, very essential. You might not see it now, but the first thing that you might go for an interview, the first thing they will ask you is, are you actually versed with version control tools or version control tools? You might say yes. Which have you been using? The commonly used now is Git. Which because Git is a software, while GitHub is the tool. Don't mistake it here. So Git is actually a software that you can install on your machine. You have um the command line there is a software, while GitHub is just the collaboratively space that you can upload your projects there. So that's that. Alright, so if you collaboratively start practicing collaboration with people and during this bootcamp, this software development bootcamp, all of these things should be handled. Yes, all of these things should be handled. I'm sure we'll focus more on collaborative work. That's from next week. Yeah, from next week, and so focus more on collaborative work, how you can collaborate with one another. I don't need to sit with you on the same page before we can work. No, that's not how life is. Life has become a way, in such a way that wherever you are, you can discuss something with someone. You guys can work on it. It does not depend the location. It does not actually matters. I can be somewhere else, you're somewhere else that we work. So that's the type of thing you need to start looking at now. So you just need to get in touch with people, like what the type of projects they have worked on, or the type of projects it's actually going operational and other stuff like that. So they might have a space for you to just, it's not good for you to let's say for a start, like I usually say, volunteering is actually great. Yes, it's good for you to volunteer. You get the skill and the knowledge out of volunteerism. When you volunteer in such a work, you're going to get a lot out of it. Yes, you're also going to benefit from the skills you're gaining and also from the work you're going to earn at the end. Because you volunteering in some place, like those the persons I'm having now in the board forum, that's the board of directors in Kudaso. Majority of them are doing volunteerism because none of them are being paid. Yes, for now none of them are being paid, but later on all of those things are going to be reached out. Yes, so volunteerism in whatsoever you're doing actually counts a lot. Yes, we don't just say this man wants to use my skill for nothing. No, you actually volunteer to get actually network with other persons. Yes, because it's actually based on the volunteerism that I did. I actually realized that some people are good with what they are doing. Yeah, you learn from them, you grab some skills from them, they learn from you, they grab some skills from you too. Yeah, so that's that. So the final point we're going to be talking on now, it's we're just going to have a Q&A section for maximum 15 to 20 minutes. You ask me your questions related to what we have been learning, and I'll try to see how I can answer and make it explicit. It's not going to be more detailed. I'll just give you a short clip of it. Yes. So we're going to be talking on Q&A. We're going to focus on the question and answer session for about 15 minutes maximum. Yes, I'll do a recap and we close the session for tonight. So I will start. I'll ask each and every one of you a question. So I can start with anyone. Yep, I can start with anyone. So don't be shocked, eh? Let me see. Uh, me one day how many times for you? I did 3 times. Alright, let me see. Okay. God love. Unmute your mic. You can mute the mic. So let's have a discussion with you then. Okay. So basically what I've said today, what have you learned?
Um, I have a question concerning the party. Where do you draw a line from free to what you get paid for.
I didn't get you. Please, can you go back? Can you ask your question now?
Like you said concerning free, like you should share your resources free. It's not all the time you're not all the time going to give away for free.
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line from where you give your resources for free and where you make income
Okay.
from what you do?
All right. All right. So based on what I get, if I get you well, you're saying where can you bridge out the difference or the part where you start giving your things now for you start asking people to pay for something that you're rendering, like for a produce or a services you're rendering, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay. So based on that now, it actually counts on you. Let's just take for example you've been, let's say, helping persons for a while now. Like the first course, let me take myself as an example here. Like the first course I started promoting when I started affiliate marketing was a course on graphic designing. So the first thing I learned the basic of graphic design. I learned how to do graphics with some few softwares like Pixel App and Canva. So after learning that now, I organized a free webinars, like something of such, like what I'm doing now. I organized a free webinars for like 3 days. 3 days now, based on the content those guys had. Yes, even though at the end not everybody is going to pay. Yes, but you're going to have some few people that have actually gained from what you have been saying, and they want to continue to benefit from it. They are going to pay. Let's say if I organize that free webinar 3 days maximum, then after that 3 days, now you start placing. For the first time, don't go into more money here. I'll always say this: if you're just starting, you don't like go directly to money inside money. So the first thing you need to go look into is how value your services you're rendering is. So how valuable your services you're rendering is. Are you solving people's problems? Because you need to solve a problem here. The main thing is for you to solve a problem. If you're able to solve someone's problem, that person is obviously going to pay you for that. So let's take for example, if I solve your problem, if you want to learn website development, you come to me. I teach you HTML for free. Then I teach you the starting of CSS for free. Then I let's say want to go into JavaScript. If I ask you, let's say based on what you've been learning out, so far we've worked on, let's say we work on series of projects. If I ask you to pay, let's say 3,000, based on what you are going to gain, and then the space I'm going to put you after learning those things, like me encouraging you, like I will also help you connect with other people that you can get jobs to and other things like that that you're going to learn from. What do you think with that? Are you going to purchase? So it's just a clear thing. You just use like 2 3 days. You teach the people for free, and then afterwards you can place, but not much. Even though I know that skill is not worth that. It's your skill is worth a lot, but at the start you place. Let's say those people are not buying that skill now. You're still giving it for free, even though placing that price there, you're still giving it for free. So that's how you can bridge the difference between paid service and free services. I think was I did you get me? God love.
yes, yes, yes. The
Okay.
network is good.
All right. Sorry. But so that's that there. That's that. Even though after this you can get in one-on-one with me or explain that more better. So the next case, yeah. What have you learned or any question do you have, or are you having any question? Something like that. Yeah. Are you having any question?
No, I don't have any question.
Alright. So what have you learned?
Um, okay, from all you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
I learned that it's important to cultivate a growth mindset.
Okay.
Yes, and in order for you to like achieve that, you have to. An example of what you can do is to join communities and partake in whatever they do, so
Okay.
that you learn from them, and then yeah, you can grow from there. And also that if you want to become a pro developer, as for a beginner, you can decide to put yourself to code for at least 20 or 30 or 1 hour
Yeah.
per day, every day.
Why is
It's
too
going
much,
to
eh?
help you.
For a beginner, why is too much?
Okay.
A day. Yeah, but you can do that. Yeah, depend on how committed you are.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
So that's
Um, you also spoke about um public speaking,
all right.
that we should be confident,
Uh-huh.
and that we should know that not everybody, like even the people that we think that are pros, not all of them are, let me say, pro in also speaking, like speaking to others.
Mm-hmm.
So we should just be confident about what we are doing, or about what we're prepared to say to other people. Let me say, like, if you have a talk to talk to people about, you should be confident, and then yeah, that's what I've learned.
All right. So that's wonderful. Okay. Kudos for that. So you're really taking note. Okay. The next should be the mid. Why I name that too? Henry. You're on board. All right. If it's not online, die right. You can go on.
I learned that you should have a positive mindset and you should join communities and partake in activities.
Okay. That's just a quick recap of what we were just been discussing. All right, that's good. That's nice. So, is it MHD Salis? Please, you're just joining, but yeah, I record the session, so you're just going to watch on the Coda Sub YouTube channel. I'm going to upload it there. By latest tomorrow, it will be available. You're just going to watch the video there, and you get yeah. So that's that for today's discussion. And my final message and a key takeaway. Yeah, any question, God love, before I end?
Um, Concerning the part where you say you should give a time limit to your project,
Yeah.
like for where you should stop.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You get?
Yes, I get you. So, all right, for that part,
Okay.
it's not where you're going to stop with the project. Yes, it's a time limit where you are going to complete the project. You get? So it's where the timely way when you're going to complete the project. That's what I'm talking about here. So because a project actually needs to be advancing. Each day you need to think of how you can improve that project to something else. Yes, Facebook were just let's say you view person in view you, but now it's a chat based. So you are seeing the advancement of Facebook. Even WhatsApp, the updates that you're having now on WhatsApp is kind of a lot. You get? So these are the various things I need to take into consideration. You put a time limit to learn and study the project you're working on, and yes, Casey, I'll get back to you. You put a time limit you're working on that project that you're going to end the finish your project at that time. Yes, then afterwards you start doing updating on the project. So that's what I was talking. Okay, Kezia.
Mm, I have a question.
Yep.
You talked about tools for productivity like Trello, Notion. I don't understand that one clearly. Like when you mean productivity, like
Yeah.
what do the tools actually help you to do?
Okay. All right. So tackling that section when it comes to productivity, right? We it just simply means how fast can you complete a project within that range of time. So let's say for example you have to build a project, right? You have a time range you've put yourself. If you want to be productive, like you want to actually end that project within that space of fixed. So those tools actually helps you let's say draft like a roadmap how you're going to follow till the end and other things like that.
Okay, so like they are already structured, like the Trello, Notion, whatever, like they're already structured in in a way like they'll be able to help you.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So any other question before we end the session? Okay. So before I say my final message, I want to first of all thank you all for partaking in this. It would have never been possible if you guys were not here. So once again, you all are great. And also, I hope you guys learned something. Yeah. So I hope you guys learned something. If you have any problem concerning business, you can get directly to my DM. I'm there. Yeah, good mindset, public speaking, yeah, cultivating all those type of stuff. You can get to me, or I'll be happy to help you. So my final message to you guys is becoming a professional developer is not a destination. It's actually a journey. You just need to keep building. You need to keep learning and never walk alone. So that's just what I got for you today. And have a blessed night, you all. Thank you once more. You all are great.